So now I am over at the topsoil mixing plant. So here we will see the soils, compost, sands all being blended together to create a perfect mix of topsoil, which is supplied by London Lawn Turf for general use in gardens, under lawns, in beds, in borders. So real high-end quality topsoil, and we'll now show you how that's created and the process to get it in the bags and out to our customers. I'm here with Terry Smithson from Rolawn, who is head of nature-based solutions. And Terry is going to give us some information and detail around the topsoil processing. Yeah. So how do Rolawn go about that? How's the soil processed? How do we create the products that Rolawn sends to our customers?
Well, I've got a handful of sand here. And soil is basically a mineral rock that's eroded with some organic material in it. They are organic comes from plants that have rotted down effectively, composted. And some manufacturers will create soil basically out of a bit of sand and a bit of compost. It's kind of done, but we add so much more. So the compost is important, mineral is important, but we'll take a natural soil from the ground as dug, usually from, let's say, building sites, greenfield sites where it's going to go to waste. We'll bring that back in the system. And the reason for that is that we get much more healthy soils as a result.
So why do Rolawn use these processes to create the soils? What's the advantages that creates?
It's really important for us. You can get soil that's just a basic mix of sand and compost. But if we can add a natural soil and as dug soil in, then we're bringing all those microbes to the soil. So a handful of soil can contain something like 50,000 different species of bacteria and fungi. And all of those different microorganisms have a purpose. They will increase the availability of nutrients for plant growth. When a plant is getting short of one nutrient, say bromine, it'll communicate with the fungus in the soil, persuade the fungus to find some bromine. The fungus extracts the bromine, gives it to the plant, and the plant says, thanks for that, there's some sugar. So there's a real exchange that's going on with all these different species.
Yep, okay.
So that increases the resilience of the soil. There's more nutrients for the plants. But also in drought times, if you've got a better soil composition, it means that the water's going to be held on for longer and the plants can survive much better. And also when you're thinking about, let's say, pollution that's coming off air surface or roof or other area, those microorganisms can take out those pollutants so that it doesn't cause damage to our rivers, water supply, and other things as well. So it's really important to get a natural mix within those soils.
Okay. And Rolawn focus on task-specific topsoils for use throughout the UK. And how are you differentiating the mixes and the soils? How's that created?
So it's really important. We try and get our standard mix is suitable for a whole range of different plants to grow. But of course, if you take some, let's say, sand and mineral, it might be more calcareous or more acidic. And some of the composts might be more alkaline or acidic as well. If someone needs specific soils, we can then, as you can see, we've got a whole manufacturing plant here. Yep. We can tailor those soils to the exact conditions that somebody needs. More calcareous, more stony, more organic, to do different purposes, different locations.
One of the questions we're asked regularly at London Lawn Turf is, why do we need to put topsoil underneath the lawn? And why does it need to be a good quality British standard screen topsoil? There's lots of bad options out there. So can you give us some information about the importance of topsoil in lawns and what that's needed?
I mean, soil is the foundation of life, growth, So you need a good soil underneath the turf and a good soil underneath the plants, so that'll help to grow well. We put our soils to a whole range of tests to make sure that they reach the British standard, and in fact go beyond the British standard. We did some testing a few years back, looking at topsoils that were available off the shelf, and tested them against the British standard from a certified lab. Half the soils that were tested didn't reach the standard, and 2 of the samples had toxins that were damaging for human health, asbestos and PCBs. So you've got to be careful to make sure you get the right soil, not just for your plant growth, but for safety for yourselves.
Yeah.
So it's the testing protocol that we go through is very robust and rigorous, and it makes sure that the soil you're going to get is of a high standard.